I don't like that. Sophisticated man, that's who I am. I walk around, I stroll. I look to the left, I look to the right. And when you look back at me, and I said, "Show you're right." You become afraid. That's what it is.
That's already blessed to you, and the energy that's already here for you, because you are an energy being and you come from an perfect energy source. So all of this stuff is available for you for your benefits.
Motivation Mondays on Transform You Live Radio with your host, Minister Dr. Marcus Hart. Transform You Live, the only place where real transformation broadcast.com. That's transform.broadcast.com. For more information on Marcus Hart and other exclusive services and events, visit MarcusHartEnterprises.com. That's Marcus Hart Enterprises.com.
Hello, my people, and welcome back. We are back for, what is it now? Our third segment. Yes, our third segment for Motivation Monday. Yes, it is Motivation Monday. And we've been having an awesome time here. We have been just enjoying some awesome guests. We had two awesome guests on earlier. And, I did a little 30-minute segment myself. To fill in for the absent guests that, didn't stop by, no names to be mentioned at all. But regardless of all that has transpired, we feel pretty motivated, but we can use a little bit more motivation. Don't you all agree? If I could hear you, I know you are shaking your head or you are telling me through the earbuds, yes, give us more motivation, Marcus. No problem. That's what I'm here to do. I have another fantastic guest, real amazing person. I'm already inspired just from the title of his book. Looking at the title of his book is just already blowing me away. The title of his book is Taking Control, Cracking the Code to Happiness. David Chatfield is who we're talking about, folks. He's an international best-selling author. And I have a heart for authors, me being one myself. But I am just always just starstruck whenever I get a chance to talk to an author or come across meeting a fellow author. It's just, it's just amazing. And we're going to have ourselves an awesome time here. He's going to provide us some great information and just give us some insiders on some of the things that's directly out of his book, hopefully, and then be able to share some of his own stories. But to just give you a little bit more, understanding or a little bit more familiarity, and hopefully I said that word correctly. David Chatfield, he began his career as an attorney and manager working with different music artists, global companies, producers, movies, television writers, producers, actors, editors, you name it. The guy has worked with everybody in that industry. He was also president of the local bar association. He's been elected to public office. Can I get a hey now for that? Because, yes, anybody that knows me knows that I'm also running for public office this year. So I'm definitely eager to talk to this guy. We have a lot in common so far. We are on the same wavelength, so to speak. But this guy, he has done it all. He did a great deal of work, and then most recently, he's currently serving on 2 charity boards, and then he's a graduate of the YouTube Space Build Your Channel Workshop. This guy has a wealth of information for you, and it's truly a blessing to have him on. But let's not delay. Let's get right to it. Without further ado, let's hear from David Chatfield.
Hey, thank you, Marcus. It's so great to be on your positive show.
Definitely. I am humbled by having you here, and I'm already feeling positive already. So tell us a little bit about yourself, David.
Well, I was born and raised in Southern California. Both of my parents were in the entertainment business. All my friends were in the entertainment business. And I was not interested in the entertainment business until I became an adult and decided to represent various individuals in the entertainment business, all in music, television, motion pictures. And then I went out and started speaking and trying to get people to switch from being negative to positive, and using my life's study from everywhere from college all the way up through, visiting with the Dalai Lama on his 80th birthday, and bring that to the people so that they can actually make their lives work.
Awesome. So you come from a family of entertainment. Wow, that's fantastic. So was there any pressure there to jump in it, or it was just sort of kind of rubbed on you after a while?
Well, my mother thought that I wanted to become an actor. I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to be in a rock band. So, and my father, he was busy off doing his thing, and he wasn't telling me what I should do or not. We would just have lunch while I was in college and discuss what I was learning. So I was pretty much given free rein for my life and my career, and I've taken complete advantage of that.
Nice. Wow, that's fantastic. So would you say that this entertainment background kind of really shaped like this new outlook you have on life, or was it something that came about somewhere else?
Well, I always felt that I was meant to make a difference, and I never knew exactly what that was. I ran for public office and solved a lot of problems in my community, and good luck to your running this year. And
Thank you.
After I ran for public office and finished out my terms, I realized, well, that wasn't what I was meant to do. And then I ran into a few people around the world, globally, in London and in Rome, and their mission was what I adopted, which was to change the consciousness of the planet through positive entertainment. And so I joined a group called GATE, which is the Global Alliance for Transformational Entertainment. That was founded by Eckhart Tolle and the actor Jim Carrey. And so I have this book is part of my attempt to create ripples in the lake of life so that the waves will finally build up and overcome negativity, and positive mental attitudes will take over, and we can save the planet for us and our children.
Wow, this is fantastic. You definitely fit the profile of what we're looking for on this show. So I know the biggest value from this, because they're going to replay this over and over again. They're definitely going to be blessed by this. So change the consciousness of people. Now, with today being Motivation Monday, would you say that a key element or key ingredient to finding some motivation has a lot to do with like surface level consciousness?
Absolutely. Your mind and what you think creates what happens to you, and so you have to take control of your thoughts, and it's kind of laid out in the book, like the combination to a safe. You just follow the combination, and then at the end, you're in control and you're happy, magically. It's not really magic. It's your own visualization, affirmation, and prayers, and they just come to life.
Wow, fantastic. Now, looking at your book here, and it definitely has a really captivating title. It makes you wonder. What exactly would be the favorite chapter from this book?
Well, my favorite chapter is really the first chapter, the most important chapter, which is about integrity, and it allows everyone who is involved in life to create strong and lasting relationships built on a foundation of integrity. And what does that mean? That means that you make and keep a commitment to yourself to keep all of your agreements with everyone. This builds trust, and you become a person that can be depended upon.
Wow. And it's so much of that missing in the world today. You are definitely spot on with, inspiring something we need to hear more of. I definitely applaud you on that. I just had a person who missed the commitment today earlier. So integrity. So what really made you, say to yourself like, hey, yeah, this is what it really is, integrity. Was there, several experiences that you encountered that, you noticed that like, hey, it was my integrity that really, created like these great relationships, or did it come from somewhere else?
Well, I learned it from sitting in encounter groups and learning from transformational speakers, and just noticing how differently my life was if I kept on my agreements with people and didn't become a flake. I mean, this is Los Angeles, Hollywood. It's,
oh, yeah.
The land of the fruits and the nuts, right? And
right.
So here, somebody with integrity, and the people who are successful here all have integrity. If they say they're going to come see you on Tuesday for lunch, they show up. And once you do that, once you start showing up, even if something better comes along, you tell the person that came after you made the first commitment, you just say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I have another commitment, and I always keep my commitments. And then after you do that a few times, everyone in your life starts to look at you differently, and you become trustworthy, and you become a person that can be depended upon by your friends and colleagues.
Definitely. I like it. Wow. You definitely are, hitting some real important things here. Now, what do you say to a person who, and whose integrity, they never really questioned it, or they never really thought about it, And what do you say to get them to really start thinking more about things?
Well, I talked to them about whether or not they keep their agreements. I explained to them that when they type something on their phone to someone, they're actually talking to a human being, not just another phone, and that everybody deserves to have their words kept. And so if you honor people with your truth and your integrity and your commitment, then they start to honor you. And I explain that to people, and they look at me and they think about it for a minute, and then a week later I will get an email from someone saying, I started doing what you said, keeping my agreements, and all my relationships are changing. They're becoming way stronger, way better. People are treating me much better than they did before. So it's something that you have to try and see what happens, because it's hard to explain.
That's definitely a good way, a quick way. It sounds like a very instant way to begin to make some transformation in your life. I like it, man. This is fascinating. It seems so simple. So like look thinking back here, switching back gears here, going back to what you said. Inspiring people from switch from negative to positive. How long have you had this outlook on life?
Well, I really concentrated on getting rid of all the negative out of my life about 6 years ago. And it was right after the Mayan calendar ended, and I got in a terrible car accident, and I got like a triple concussion, and I lost my short-term memory for 2 months. And when I came out of it, it was as if my hard drive was wiped clean, and all of the socialization that had hit me my entire life was gone, and I awoke to realize that there were all these negative people in my life who were sucking the energy out of me. And it was really empowering to see that if you drop a negative person out of your life, it creates such a huge space. And instead of having somebody negative there sucking your energy out, somebody positive with bringing positive energy and adding to your energy comes up. And not just one person, lots of people come, because there's plenty of room to fill that negative spot.
Wow. And I've personally been there myself, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So how long did it take for you before, after you embraced it, that it changed your life?
Almost immediately. What happened was that as soon as I took the negative energy out of my life, opportunities that weren't clear before became very clear, and I had an opportunity to travel the world. I started representing artists from foreign countries. I have 26 artists around the world, from Russia to Rome, Italy, to Florence, to Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Holland, England, Ireland. And I had to go to each one of those places and meet with these people. And I did it because I was open to the opportunities now, and I saw them much more clear than I did when everyone else in my life was saying no. I realized this last week that really what changed was I went from being a person whose favorite word was no to a person whose favorite word is yes.
Fascinating. I like it. Now, I haven't personally read your book yet, and I'm definitely gonna pick it up. But listening here, it sounds like relationships is like the underlying theme of the book, and I definitely like I would like to know why that is.
Well, if you want to be happy in your life, you have to be content in your relationships. And we have relationships with everyone and everything. You have relationships with your family, with your friends, with your work associates. You even have a relationship with your car and everything else in your life. And the earth and the planet. We always forget that we're in a relationship with the planet. We have to treat it with love and respect like we do everyone else, or bad things will happen. But anyway, so I decided to help my kids learn about life and relationships and how you could create a happy and healthy relationship. Because when you die and you're on your deathbed, what's going to be most important to you? The things that you bought or your relationships? It's almost a rhetorical question, because everyone knows that you can't take it with you except the love and respect you have for everything and all your experiences, and that comes from relationships. So that's why relationships play such a big part of my book.
Excellent. Now, there's a lot of people who consider themselves loners, though, and they tend to shy away from building relationships, because they have definitely allowed introvertedness to run their life. What type of advice do you offer those people?
Well, someone who is introverted and does not have a lot of friends or doesn't like to associate is usually coming from fear. And we don't want to come from fear. I think it was Marianne Williamson that wrote that there are two basic emotions in the universe. One is fear and one is love. And that when you're feeling anxious, angry, insecure, worried, resentful, or you want to lock yourself up alone, you've left love and you've entered fear. And so the people should always choose love and take risks. There's no reward without risk. And people who say to themselves do it because they think they're being safe. And maybe they have some fears. And I go into great detail about how fear can affect your life and how to get rid of fear in your life. And also discuss what happens to your relationships when you go into them open and fearless and giving away to trust. And it really it's silly that these people would want to keep to themselves out of either fear or insecurity or something else, when some people have so much to offer, and it's great. It's great that everyone is so different. It shouldn't divide people. It should unite people. and should make people happy that they have cranky or quirky friends. It makes life interesting. Otherwise, we'd all be bored.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I heard you say something here. You mentioned about, just understanding the uniqueness of everybody and loving to and learning to embrace that. So when we think about it, how do we get over the hump of being able to accept people as they are?
Well,
to create better relationships.
What you have to do is, after you've decided to have integrity, the next thing you do is to try to eliminate disappointments by eliminating egocentric expectations. You just have to learn to accept people the way they are. People are kind of like concrete. When they're young, they're malleable, they like change, they're excited by roller coasters, but the older they get, it's like cement, curing. You get stuck in your ways, and people don't want to change. And so if you are in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to change and you don't accept them the way they are, that's going nowhere. You have to accept people the way they are because they're not going to change. And that's what you have to realize is if you realize that if people are not going to change, the only way you can have a relationship with them is to accept them the way they are. And so that's the answer to that question about what to do about accepting people. You just have to just accept them. But if they're negative and you can't accept them, then I told you before, you have to get rid of them. You can't keep them around. You can't keep them around at the side. You can't see them once a week or once a month. You got to get rid of the negative people totally out of your life, or somehow transform them into someone who's positive. And that's why I wrote the book.
Now thinking back to when you began to just rid yourself of the energy suckers, those energy vampires. Now, how hard was it for you? Was it very easy for you, or was there any kind of well, I'm going to do it this week, and kind of hesitation there? How was it?
It's really difficult. Because some of these things, when you wake up and you analyze what's going on in your life, some of these relationships have gone for decades and longer than that. And sometimes they're very important people. Sometimes they're your business partner. Sometimes they're your love relationship. It could be lots of different things. It's not easy. It does take courage. And that's why it's so important that you try to lose fear and go forward courageously with the belief that everything's going to be fine and you're getting better and better every day in every way, and that the universe is positive, it's kind, and it wants you to be successful.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's beautifully said, Derek. Now, in terms of looking at your child here, cracking the code, what exactly is cracking the code?
Well, cracking the code is taking control of every aspect of your life. And when I mean that, I mean you take control of your finances, you take control of your relationships, as we've been discussing, you take control of your health. Just imagine, self-acceptance is very important, but you need to take care of yourself so that you're happy in your health and you're feeling well and you don't wake up already on the wrong side of the bed. I wake up every day and I think that, every day in every way my life is getting better and better. But I have to take supplements. I exercise all the time. People don't realize that exercise is a really important secret on being happy, because when you exercise, your brain releases pheromones and you become very, very happy because a chemical is released in your body. It's like eating chocolate. It creates happiness. And so, I even talk about making decisions about purchases, about how you shouldn't ever settle. If you have to wait a little longer to get what you want, what you really want to make you happy, wait. Work for it. Don't just settle. Don't settle for anything. Always get what you want. Otherwise, you will feel unfulfilled. And you can't live in the past. You have to live your life in the present moment.
Yeah. So a lot of my female listeners out there. So next time your husband stops you, just tell him that David said you can.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have an entire section that all the husbands in the crowd should read about how they should treat their relationship and their wives. And actually, it's good for women too, and for any couple of any belief. So we should just choose love and don't settle, and let every disappointment you have in your life create a new opportunity. Don't dwell on it.
Right. Now, and then going back to removing some of these negative relationships, because this is one of those topics that's like real dear to home for me myself, and I know a lot of my listeners out there can resonate with me on this. They're tracking all the way with me on this. Now, when it comes to being in a toxic relationship, how do we deal with that if it's a relationship that's we've been in for years?
Well, unless it's a family member that you have to be with because they're family, my advice for you in that instance is to just have as little contact as you have to with them. But if it's someone who's not family, you have to just go for it. You have to just stop the relationship. People say to me, well, if I stop this relationship, I've had it for a long time, what's going to happen? And is anybody positive going to come? And I said, a whole bunch of people are going to come. All of a sudden,
yeah.
Giant space that's open. And really, people can be negative or positive. It's a choice we make. And everyone should choose to be positive. And opportunities that usually don't come will come. They may not come as we expect them, and that's another thing. You have to pay attention to what's coming to you. And you have to be keeping yourself open and positive to the possibilities that present themselves, no matter how they're wrapped. Because most of the time, the opportunities come differently than what we expect, but they do come. It may take you a little while to recognize it.
Wow, I love that. That gives me some reminders too. So I can definitely take that information myself. So that's great, man. We're having a really awesome time with you right now, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners are enjoying this great information just pumping out to us. So just in a few sentences, why should we go out and buy your book?
Well, everybody can use a little bit more happiness, and everybody seems to be out of control. And if you feel out of control in any portion of your life, be it your health, your wealth, your relationships, this book gives you a simple, easy, and time-proven way to make your life work. And I guarantee you, if your life works, you're going to be a lot happier than you are if it doesn't. So that's why people should take a look at the book, just to even open up your mind to the possibility of taking control. It's an amazing experience.
Fantastic, man. I love it. So if the listeners wanted to get a hold of you and get connected with you, well, what's the absolute best way to do that?
Well, I answer every email I get, and my email address is David@Chatfield, spelled Chatfield, entertainment.com. And that's where you can reach me. And I'm very accessible. I love talking to my readers and the people who listen to these shows.
Wow, we need more people like you because, you know, like there's some guys out there who, you know, just publish a book and then they go so here. You know, but like we really appreciate that you are making yourself accessible and that you did stop by to, bless us with your presence and just give us some awesome nuggets to take home with us tonight.
Well, thank you for giving me this pedestal.
Hey, step on it, man. It's for you. We laid it out for you. We made sure it was clean, too.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if they want to pick up your book, how would you suggest them go about doing that?
Okay, the book is available in English at the moment in paperback on Amazon.com. You can also get it an electronic version on Kindle. Next month it will be available in Spanish as well, and there will be an audiobook also. So look for it on Amazon, and that's where most of the people can get it. You can also run down to your local bookstore and order it, and you can get it in a couple days.
Awesome. Fantastic. So I can't let you get away with, asking you a question that I always ask all of my guests that come on, and that's in regards to the current election season. You know, we got presidential election coming up in November. Do you have any opinions on, current election?
On the current election, well, I just wish that people who were running for public office were in it for the same reason that I am, and I think that you are in, which is to make positive change and to solve problems. Right now, it seems like the only thing they're trying to do is get elected, but we're not hearing about who's going to do what to solve what problems. Because you can admit we have a lot of problems. There's a lot of people who don't like us. We don't like them. Our country's having an economic problem. We have a lot of people living on the streets, a lot of unemployment. It's so easy. We have so many resources on this planet. We could all share them. But we're not hearing that from the candidates. I think they should talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, they definitely need to, be more of like people like you, and that's just offering inspiration, provide some hope, some more positivity, exactly. Some, a promise of some happiness. That's what we need, definitely. So, yeah, we greatly appreciate you, David, having you on, and, for you taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Is there any final words before I let you go?
Well, I say don't carry your past painful experiences around with you. Feel the pain and let it go. Learn from the experience and move on. And if you have to tell someone that they hurt you to get over it, tell them. And if you can't tell them, tell a friend. Just live in the present and have a happy, bright future ahead.
Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, folks, you just heard from David Chatfield, the amazing and fabulous David Chatfield. Make sure you do go out and pick up his book, a new book that is available right now through Amazon. If you don't want to go through Amazon and you want to get a little bit of exercise, as he suggested, take that walk down to the local bookstore and purchase it. And once again, it's Taking Control, Cracking the Code to Happiness by David Chatfield. And if you want to be a part of this community, this growing community, the Transform You Live Media Broadcast Network community, visit our website at transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U, broadcast.com. Join us. We have a community of world-leading experts just like David himself. Their friends are there. My friends are there. And we want you to bring yourself and your friends along with you so that we can all be friends and exchange the happiness, pass along the torch so that we can all begin to make transformation in our lives. Awesome. So once again, that's transform the letter U, broadcast.com. The recording of this interview will be directly on that website as well as on our YouTube channel. And, you might want to get it from David, too, because he'll have it. So until then, many blessings, peace, and love to each and every one of you guys. You have a fantastic night. And make sure you join us on our late show at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have another fantastic guest on for the next segment.